Race number 5 at Belmont on Wednesday will start at 3 p.m. It is the Peacock Brothers Handicap over 1,300 metres. It's a Class 1 handicap. The replay horse, look at Soundcheck, finishing 5th at Belmont Park on the 13th of June.
The top of the straight with Miss Valeur at the 350. Ken 2 went straight past Flash of Thunder. 2 lengths behind them. Running on is Moet de Vega. Dream Stream further back, and then Soundcheck. But Ken 2 is the leader down to the 150. 3/4 clear from Moet de Vega, who keeps coming. Moet de Vega comes at Ken 2. Ken 2 kicks, but Moet de Vega got the bob, I think. Moet de Vega.
Soundcheck will be third up on Wednesday. He's, however, 5 weeks between runs. He had fair few problems last preparation, mainly around the barriers and his manners. Seems to have improved in that regard this campaign. Was blocked for a run first up in this grade on the 30th of May. And then last up, as we saw in the replay race, he simply settled far too far back in what was a slowly run race. Stone Motherless horse in that race, Masaji, came out and won next start. So I think the form might be okay, and I'm willing to give Soundcheck the benefit of the doubt here. I think he's probably the classiest runner in this race. Goes on top from his stablemate, number 1, Apollo. The visors went on and the blinkers came off last start, and they seemed to work quite well. He had reasonable sections, particularly over 4, 6 and 800 metres. Image Chenery Red, half a kilo better than that last start, and he was closing the gap towards the end. I expect him to turn the tables on number 4. Goes in for second. Number 5, Countess Natasha, is the third pick, having its second run for Lou Luciani, having previously been with his son Dion. Did win last start with a number of gear changes, but that was in maiden grade. And then number 4, Chenery Red, who did beat Apollo last start, but I'm expecting the result to change on Wednesday. My top selection in race number 5, I'm going to go with number 3, Soundcheck, to beat the stablemates. Number 1, Apollo, 5, Countess Natasha, and 4, Chenery Red. Race number 6 at Belmont on Wednesday will jump at 3:40. It's the Hosemasters Handicap over 2,000 metres. It's a Class 1 handicap. The replay horse, look at the top one, Salon du Cheval, finishing second at Pinjarra Park.
Next to last with Mambazo, break the chain. He lets the handbrake off. Salon du Cheval now on it, ranged up, grabbed the lead, kicked a length in front from Gold Artisan, who looms as the immediate threat. Gold Artisan laying down the gauntlet to Salon du Cheval, nearing the 150. Salon du Cheval, Gold Artisan. Here comes Miss Maker from the tail of the field. Gold Artisan, Salon du Cheval, give it to Gold Artisan.
Salon du Cheval is proving an expensive horse to follow, but maybe in the week of Bastille Day and France winning the FIFA World Cup, we should be with a horse with a French name. He does strike a very winnable race 6 days after his surprise second loss in a row. To be fair to him, he did have to cart the field up at Pinjarra Park. He only went down by a long neck, and I do think that Lindsay Smith has a reasonable opinion of this horse, so he goes on top. From number 3, Satirek, was okay in the Aquanita Stakes behind Come Play With Me, was beaten 7 lengths. It wasn't a particularly high rating race though, so the drop in class is not as significant as it would have been if that listed race had been run at a genuine tempo. His third run after a break of 48 days, it will be on Wednesday. Has been slow away, so it'll be interesting to see what he does from the gate for Andrew Castle from barrier number 9. Then number 7, Threads of Ivy, is having its 6th run since a let-up of 83 days, beats Unending, Abel Dane and Make Minor Champers to break its maiden 2 starts ago. And then the most interesting run in the race has to be number 4, Combat Ready. This is a relation of Bams on Fire, certainly one of the better 2-year-olds in WA this season, and gets William Pike from barrier 1 for the first time. Interesting one. My top selection in race number 6, I'm going to go with number 1, Salon du Cheval, to beat 3, Satiric, 7, Threads of Ivy, and 4, Combat Ready. Race number 7 at Belmont on Wednesday will jump at 4:20. It's the JJ Richards and Sons Handicap over 1,650 metres. It's for horses that haven't won a metro race in the last 12 months. One of those is Kelly's Gem. Let's have a look at her finishing 9th in the Belmont Oaks.
Gets a runner. Muzlecki's gone back to the inside for O'Donnell. She's starting to work into it well. He found room on the inside. Carberry goes to work on the leader, Send My Love, but here comes Muzlecki, and the classy 3-year-old storm through on the inside to grab the lead. Muzlecki races to the front. Aconite, Paddy Shadow battling away, but it's all Muzlecki. Muzlecki draws away, and that's a 3rd stakes win. She won more than 2 lengths.
The pedestrian tempo killed the chances of Kelly's Gem in the Belmont Oaks. If you want some figures about that tempo. They went around 18 lengths slower than the class benchmark to the 600. That's the equivalent of 3 seconds. She's down in grade on Wednesday, and I do think she'll be too classy for her opponent. She was locked up all the length of the straight in the listed race. This is significantly easier, and she did win at Belmont 2 starts ago. Goes on top from number 7, Persian Princess, having its third run since a let-up of 82 days. Was second in the Belmont Classic this time last year. That was on a wet track. I think the wet track will be key to the chances of Persian Princess. If it rains, she may well go very, very well. Number 5, Juicing Carrots. The blinkers went off last start, and he responded with the fastest last furlong in that race. Did beat Prentice by 2 1/4 lengths, and that takes me on to number 1, Prentice. This horse won the WA Size Produce Stakes as a 2-year-old, has never really lived up to that ever since. Gets barrier 1 here and a claim, doesn't mind a wet track as well. So have a look at the weather on the day. I think wet tracks might be key to a couple of chances in the penultimate race on the card. That is race number 7. I'm going with number 9, Kelly's Gem. It's beat 7, Persian Princess, 5, Juicing Carrots, and 1, Prentice. Race number 8 at Belmont on Wednesday will jump at 4:55. It's the Rent-A-Kill initial handicap over 1,200 metres. It's a Class 3 handicap. The replay horse, look at the top one, number 1, Don't Fuss, finishing 4th last start.
Up towards the inside is Full Disclosure, and Dawn Mission cutting back over towards the inside. Bonnie Be Good further back in the field. Oregon Bronze though burst clear inside the 200-metre mark and had shot away. It's Oregon Bronze when they come to the 150, 2 lengths in front of Guns of Navarone, and Bonnie Be Good who's charging home on the inside of Oregon Bronze. Oregon Bronze in front though and desperately clings on.
I think Don't Fuss boasts the strongest form lines in the final race at Belmont on Wednesday. Last time out in the replay race, he was slowed away, which meant he had to race against his usual pattern. Prior to that, he'd beaten Miss Swindle by a short head and had been competitive against Misty Metal, who looks like a galloper who's going to go through the grade. So Don't Fuss goes on top. A little bit concerned about the gate, but worthy of the top selection here. From number 3, Turbo Power. I like the fact this horse is back in trip from 1,300 and previously 1,400 down to 1,200 metres. Also think this horse handles the wet okay. So with the weather forecast, Turbo Power goes in for second. Number 6, Kate Lady, was pretty keen on her before she was scratched last week, but now she's had that longer gap between races, a little bit concerned. She was over racing last start when just beaten by Another Story, which brings me on to Another Story. That's number 5 in this race, and won last start, led all of the way, expecting Kate Lady to turn the tables. I'm just not sure about Another Story's form lines with Don't Fuss. They met last year, and it was a comprehensive victory to number 1. My top selection in race number 8 is number 1, Don't Fuss, to beat 3, Turbo Power, 6, Kate Lady, and 5, Another Story. It's now time to nominate my best bets on the midweek card at Belmont. It's going to go in race number 1 with number 1, Braggadocious, for Jordan Turner and Lindsay Smith. And then in race number 7, number 9, Kelly's Gem, for William Pike and Adam Durant. It's easy to stay up to date with everything that's happening at Perth Racing. You can log on to our website, or you can follow us on one of our social media channels. Until next time, bye for now.